Elijah showed us that when his brook dried up, he went to God. So my question I want you to be thinking about, when your brook dries up, what do you do? What is your plan? Do you go to God, or do you move in your own strength? One of the reasons why brooks dry up is because God desires us to depend on him. We get so caught up in relying on our own abilities and what we do that we remove what God can do. Right here, we see it is out of Elijah's control. He must rely on God. He cannot see the plans ahead. Every step, every decision he makes, he literally goes back to God in prayer for directions. He not only has to rely on God, but he has to trust God. Do you trust God when you're in uncomfortable situations? The very water that he used to drink has dried up. Your finances are in a precarious situation in your life. Maybe you don't like your job. Maybe you're no longer popular. You're in a you're in a different season of life right now. And so this is a season where you have to change your direction and turn to God for direction. But you also have to trust the process, because you may be in a wilderness season, right? You may be in a pruning season. You may be in a season where everything you knew is coming to a screeching halt. What do you do when that happens? Do you trust God when your brooks dry up, or do you make your own decisions without hearing from God? Philippians 4:19 says, "But my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus." Remember in Genesis chapter 22, when Abraham had to trust God with his sacrifice of his son Isaac? He also had to have faith to believe in God's plan, even when he could not see that his wife waited until she was 90 to bring this baby. And he does not know what this plan is going to look like, but God is asking him to sacrifice his son on an altar, a son that he promised that would bring many nations and generations. He could not see the plan ahead, but he trusted God that he had a plan even in that. Do you trust God when you cannot see the plan? Elijah had to rely on God to supply all his needs during the time of famine. Fasting teaches us, my first point is to rely on God. It teaches us to rely on God.